JJ McCarthy's back. Vikings Lions. Let's get into it. Happy Thursday, Vikings fans. Hope you guys have had a great week up to this point. Almost Friday, almost the weekend. Let's get after it. Big game this weekend. Vikings head to Detroit to take on the division rival Lions. Vikings 1-0 in the division after that week 1 Bears win. If last Thursday felt like a must win, if you're still looking towards that way of playoffs, competitiveness, what have you, then this one definitely is a must win. we were on a little 2-game losing streak. We're 3-4. This was the tough part of the schedule coming off the bye. Obviously we know Wentz, what he was able to kind of tough it out for a couple weeks. Didn't get us a win after that bye. Now we're back with JJ McCarthy. Want to see him develop. Also want to try to win this game at the same time. And of course, as we talked about last week, with losing comes a lot of stuff behind the scenes that, stories, news, media, discussion, stuff like that. The Vikings need this game to go well. If they don't win, they at least need JJ McCarthy to look good. They just need something to kind of quell the noise behind the scenes and with the media. But yeah, I don't know. But look, there's a little bit of excitement finally knowing that JJ McCarthy's back and going to finally get his shot again.
We need a spark. And JJ McCarthy can potentially be that spark. But before continue on going here, we got to shout out our guy, Young Smokey, in the building with the 1999 and the 49.99. Before we even hopped in here, we appreciate you big time, bro. I got to say it's now or never from the media to our own fan. People expect us to lose this game. Y'all aren't going to like it. But with penalties and the way this team always draw them, they better not play like pussies. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And obviously we're going to give our predictions at the end here. But it's going to be a tough game no matter what. We'll get into it more in a second. The season's on the line. If we lose here, develop JJ and aim for the first pick in the draft. Again, the Vikings fans, I know this is Detroit, but the Vikings are very close to being the worst team in the league. I don't care how good the Lions are, play with heart. I would say I disagree here. I don't think winning this game is pivotal to us even making playoffs or anything like that. Kind of like what Casey said in the beginning, where like this is a game where you have to play well, even if you lose. If we come out here and get our ass whooped and JJ McCarthy throws 3 interceptions, that's not good.
I worry about some of the Vikings fan base. If that happens, I'm seeing how they're reacting after the last couple.
Oh, dude, it's gonna be. He won't. He's not gonna get a very strong. He already doesn't have a long leash, as it already is. But I would say that's not pivotal. I think, at least for me, it's always been about JJ McCarthy's development. In my opinion, this year, while hopefully also winning and maybe going to playoffs. Like that's what it was before for me. It was like develop JJ McCarthy. If we make it to playoffs, great. If we win a game in playoffs with JJ McCarthy, super great. But that wasn't where my expectation was at. So like losing to the Lions right now, we would be 5-3 or 3-5. I wouldn't say that's like detrimental. I can't even say the word now. Detrimental. There we go. To the rest of the season. In my opinion, I think it's not great, but if you go out there and JJ McCarthy looks good, we didn't lose because of him. Maybe you get a spark, maybe you get all those kinds of things.
We just want to see some positives. Like if you lose, just show us some positives. Like, kind of like Smokey ended it with there. Just play with some heart, at the end of the day.
Sweep the division, so
show us that you're on at least like the right path with, the coaching staff. Show that you can stick to the run on offense. Keep the ball, move the ball down the field, score some points in the red zone. Defense, show me. Look, if there's any week to show us you can do something against the run, this is the week to try to do it. You got the best running back tandem in the league by far coming up here. It's not going to be easy. Flores mentioned it today. He said in his press conference they're taking a long look at the run defense this week. They probably should have done that earlier, but it kind of is what it is at this point. The team's not changing unless they make a big splash trade. I don't think that's going to happen. It's kind of like you got to make what you have work. And I guess we'll kind of see what that looks like. Yeah. But when you have two of the best running backs, one of the best running back tandem coming up, led by Jahmyr Gibbs, who I think you were telling me the other day, like if he led that backfield on his own and didn't have to split snaps, you're probably looking at the best running back in football right there.
Probably. I would say that. I think
it's a challenge. I mean, it's a tough task. So this would be the week. This will be the week of any weeks to show us that you can get something done.
Yeah, and that's get something. That's why I get it, Smokey. I wasn't expecting playoffs this year, even though I think this team is talented enough, and I still do think this team is talented enough. Obviously, you need guys to step up. Some of these free agents haven't really been stepping up the way we've wanted to. But I feel like we need a spark. This whole team needs a spark. It needs a morale boost.
And honestly, the fan base needs a morale boost.
And the fan base is
way too much negativity. You got bitches infighting on Twitter, which is just stupid because you're all adults. Get off Twitter. You can argue with each other. Just all the comments. All it is just negativity. Like
yeah. It's way too. There's plenty of season left.
Life ain't that bad. I promise. Life ain't that
and I think we could. I don't want to get our ass whooped by the Lions, but I 100% believe that you could lose this game to the Lions and be all right for the rest of the season. I don't think this is this isn't a must win. It can't be a must win because if you think unless you I'm a more optimistic fan than most, I would say, and I'm not going in this game thinking that the Vikings should go and beat the shit out of the Lions, let alone even win this. This is going to be tough. JJ McCarthy is coming back his third game of his career after not playing for 6 weeks or 5 weeks or whatever it is. So it's hard for me to expect them to come in here and just put a beat down on the Lions, which in turn makes me think like I'm already giving up before this game even starts and saying the season's already over if I already think that it's going to be a tough win. You know what I'm saying?
Well, so let me get this straight, T-Bass. So you're getting all pissy and bitchy because we were positive before the season. Like, what would you expect us to be? Like,
you hype something up too much, there's going to be negative coming back at you. I don't know. Yeah, but why be on that side of negativity? You know what I'm saying?
I get you've been around, you've seen it all. We want to win now.
But you got
I get all that, but I don't know. It's just
and hey, Smokey, I love the confidence. Let's go out there and fucking whoop these Lions' asses and let JJ McCarthy come in here and look good. But I do want to hit this back up again real quick because the negativity coming back, it's like, yeah, but it's people choose to be on the negative side. Yeah. Like you get to choose the side you want to be on. And I don't know, but 3-4 in a season that has had plagued by tons of injuries and I feel like it's a lot of people just really trying to be negative. Like if people are so mad that people are so positive, like that doesn't make any logical sense to me. It's like, fans are too positive. No, we got to counteract it by being just as negative. I don't get it. It don't make sense to me.
It's like high school level shit.
Like being real about something is different. That's being real. And I get it in the being too optimist. And I know some people don't like, hey, you're being too optimistic. But still, I'm like, why be so negative? Or why want to counterbalance that by being extra negative? I don't get it. Let me do some more shout outs here because our guy, Nick Riley in the building. Big of these motherfuckers are dick and balls, bro. Soft. And I know Nick is not happy with the way the Vikings have been lately. But that's what this is a pivotal game as far as like what that's one thing I'll say is like this feels like a pivotal game as far as what the rest of the season might feel like. And that's like if JJ McCarthy doesn't have to come in here and play perfect, but like if it's an absolute train wreck game, that would not be good. Big Raylan in the building, my guy two-toned. It takes more than 2 years to develop a quarterback. Facts. Two-toned. Facts. Let's see what else we got in here. Bleeding Purple. I see you, dude. Let's go. T-Bass. Even though you're on the other side of the negative, I still always appreciate you in here because, hey, on the podcast, I like having that balance here. You know, it's good conversation. Knowledge. What's going on, Knowledge, my guy? Delton in the building. It's early, could bounce back. Yeah, exactly, Delton. That's where I'm at. I'm like, it is early. You're 3-4. We might as well be 0-7 with the way everybody's acting. And then especially the fact that that's why this is, like Casey said, this is kind of like the week where it's kind of, we can kind of be excited again, even though you could argue that JJ McCarthy ends up not playing good or whatever. But at least it's like, all right, we got a healthy team back. The injuries thing is going to be an interesting thing to go through. But we got people back. I don't know. It seems like a part in the season. You're 3-4, and this is a pivotal part of like, can we take a leap forward right now because all the stars are aligned. Unfortunately, you're against a good Lions team, but other than that, the stars have aligned, in my opinion. Let me see. Let me get my guy, Young Smokey, again here. Vikings, please fire your strength and conditioning coach and nutrition. Too many credit. Yeah, all that stuff is wild.
Yeah, that one to me, I agree with that. Like, I mean,
so what up, dude? It's been a minute, man.
Odd the last couple of years with that medical team.
Right. Yeah. Something interesting's there, and I don't know. Maybe we could tap on that a little bit. Maybe when we go into the JJ McCarthy stuff. But anything else for you? I mean, we can dive into JJ McCarthy a little bit more. But anything else before we jump into all that?
I don't know. Just the ledge. Just step off the ledge. Take a deep breath. Everything's gonna be okay. Right
now, like this is I feel like you should want. This is a moment in the season where I'm like, you should want things to turn. This is a turnaround point, and maybe it doesn't happen. Maybe it gets worse. I don't know. But at least there's people are healthy, all that kind of stuff. I feel like it could be a good turnaround point here. But we can talk a little bit more.
Look, I'm still like the Kevin O'Connell stuff. Like, I mean, whatever, you kind of expect that to happen. I mean, head coach, whatever, what's been happening through the season. I mean, people still blaming him for the Wentz thing, which is whatever. Like, I get that. Like, whatever. I still think Kevin O'Connell's the right guy for the job. I truly do. I hope we can finally see that now that he's going to have most of his team back together. The Kwesi thing, though, I understand the little turning on that. Because, again, as we talked about with him before, free agency has been good. But now we're seeing free agency doesn't work. Or this season, the free agent signings haven't lived up to the expectations that we had for them. And now you're starting to see the negatives of not being able to draft well. And that is something I will wholeheartedly, because I was always on Kwesi's side with that. Great in free agency. But, again, what happens when free agency doesn't work?
Yeah, and that is kind of what we are seeing right now, right?
You look at teams that are perennially good, like the Eagles, great drafters, right? Like, or you look at
how about them going after you hear the rumors with Myles Garrett?
That's what they're trying to do?
I saw it was like an update that the Eagles want them, are willing to give up like 3 first-round picks for them. By the way, Zoe, dude. Yeah, dude. We haven't been on anyone's pods in a while, or have anyone on ours in a while. But hit me up after this, and we can figure out something for sure.
But there's teams like that are just always draft well, and those are the teams that are constantly in it, or the teams that have that quarterback like Mahomes. That doesn't matter who you really have, you can always find a way to make it work. But
yeah,
so that is one thing I will say. Like the Kwesi, and you're seeing that he eventually, like, these draft picks have started hitting.
Let's go now, dude.
Otherwise, that could definitely get ugly.
Yeah,
and that doesn't help your coaching staff not having a competent roster to work with.
Facts, T-Bass. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm fucking talking about. Bring that positivity in here. The purple positivity that I know you love, T-Bass. Anyways, JJ McCarthy coming back injured for, what is it, 5 or 6 weeks? 6 weeks. 6 weeks.
If you count the bye.
Coming off obviously a rough game where you could give him all the what's it called? You can excuses that you want in that game or whatever, but that's gone now. It's like a fresh season for him. The fans are kind of, I think they went through the Wentz thing. The fans are kind of back on the JJ McCarthy train, even though I'd still like, obviously that's got to cool down. And to any of T-Bass's point, he's still coming off of a bad game where he also got injured again. So it is fair to cool expectations going in this one, because this is me hoping that he comes in and plays well, more than definitely knowing or for sure thinking he comes in and plays well. But the biggest thing, and that's what we mentioned earlier, is it just feels like if we want this season to turn around, he's the one person that can do that, for like all the stuff we're hearing that's going on in the locker room and It seems like the one guy that could come in and change things is if JJ McCarthy can come here and make a spark on this.
Create a spark. And I think that's the biggest thing. Like, look, win or lose, I know. Look, the winning thing, I get that. We all want to win. I mean, we had expectations this team could be good coming into the season as well. But at this point, where we're at right now, to me, the most important thing is making sure that you have the right quarterback, right? Because look, I know people they're all over Kwesi and O'Connell right now. Like, the reality is you're gonna at least get a couple more years of them. Like, the front office is at the very least. I mean, you're not gonna fire them when they're not even into their extensions yet. Like, that's ridiculous. So, like, they're at least gonna give them a couple of years to prove themselves right for sticking with JJ McCarthy. So if you're the fans, instead of being so negative, you should hope that JJ McCarthy comes out and looks good. Because at the end of the year, like I said, if we win one more game, but you get into week 18, you're like, man, McCarthy's really coming around. I think next year he could really that could be it where he finally shows out. Then I'm happy with that. I don't care at this point.
Obviously, the personnel is too good for that to win one more. If he's doing good, we should win some games.
Well, right, but either way, if that's the way that it went down, and at the end of the season, and if I see he's progressing to the point where we want him to be, I'm gonna be happy with that.
Mm-hmm.
But it didn't, because you can't have a lame duck GM going into last year of his contract. I mean, yes, that would put pressure on him, but if things go poorly, that's going to cause things to be completely in flux. It's not smart.
And if JJ McCarthy is good, if he ends up being good, then Kwesi will do it. Even if you don't like the rest of his draft class, is probably. Even though I do feel like this year's draft class is going to be extremely important. Because obviously going into the next couple years in that 3-year window, free agents haven't really worked out. But anyways, I guess just back to the JJ McCarthy stuff. I don't know. I'm excited. This is probably the most excited I've been since I won't even say since his injury was kind of a buzzkill, but it wasn't a great game. And then, we went in that Bengals game and won with Carson Wentz, and that was still exciting. It was like, I don't know. I guess when did it really get buzzkilly? I guess after. I mean, you even went and beat the Browns, but
I think it was probably the Eagles game.
Big Raylan, appreciate you, brother.
I would say.
And good, just letting stay healthy. Facts, dude. That's 100%.
I think it started to show after that Steelers game, right, where the run defense looked awful again. And the offense doesn't show up till the fourth quarter. You lose that game. Then it kind of came back around the Browns game because of how good of a defense we were playing and able to pull that one off.
Yeah, but it was.
And then the Eagles game, it started to take a downward turn. Then last week it went completely it
was freaking over that hump, huh?
Sending the watch, if you know what I mean, because you're not supposed to use the S word on live stuff on YouTube, but it's the watch for some people out there.
Yeah. And this one just feels exciting because it's not just JJ McCarthy coming back. It's everybody coming back. Mostly everyone that it sounds like anyways, which obviously we'll get into some injury stuff in a little bit here. But yeah, dude, I don't know what are your expectations for JJ McCarthy in this specific game? What do you want to see out of him? What in this game, what do you think would be a positive for even a stat line? What do you think would be positive for JJ McCarthy to come out of this game, win or lose or anything? Or maybe we do need a win, lose, whatever you think. What do you think?
I mean, it's tough because look, it's not let's not sugarcoat this. You have a left tackle who is not 100% yet, is what the reports are, going up against one of the best edge rushers in the league. That's a good defense. I mean, that defensive line is solid. Their linebackers are good. Corner or their defensive back room is weak. So I mean, it's not an easy task. I mean, especially if Darrisaw doesn't play or does play at not 100% and has to miss some snaps or pulls himself out of the game again or what have you. So look, it's not going to be easy. So I guess what you really want to see is just confidence, because that's the thing people talked about, like in that first game against Chicago till the fourth quarter, the deer and the deer in the headlights look, right? You just want to see confidence. You want to see the footwork. You want to see the fundamentals that people think he doesn't have, which again, I think they were misunderstanding what people were saying. I think for me to feel good about it, it's just that. Just see him operate, go out there, operate the offense, complete passes. Because that is one thing that love or hate Kevin O'Connell, one thing that he is right about is the whole thing with the power of completions, right? That just getting the ball out and getting those completions and gaining yardage is what gets an offense to click. So it's just, you just want to see him go out there and operate. And operate, just use his athletic ability to his advantage. Just play football. It's just you just want to you don't want to have those cringy moments oh, why do you make that? You just want to see him go out there and just be confident in his decision making.
Yep.
And just show us that he has what all the fans hoped he had when he was drafted.
Yeah, and that's the key thing that you said was just the confidence in general. Go out here and look confident. If he just does that, it'll be very obvious if he doesn't. And that was the biggest thing. That's why obviously the pass rush was crazy, especially without Darrisaw in those first two games, I think. But that's one thing. And then obviously in the fourth quarter, he looked really good in that Bears game. But in the first three quarters, he was kind of shaky, all that stuff. Because that was one thing that I saw with him. So down for him. I hear you.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's what, or yeah. And I don't know, like maybe it was a lot in the beginning. Obviously the second game, he had one practice, that's another thing. And I'll die by this at this point is I do think he should have played in the preseason. That would have been fucking huge now looking back as far as like him getting used to the game and everything. So I do think he should have done that. But in the draft, watching him, that was like the number one thing I saw was his confidence and his composure. It just composure or whatever, just in general, compared to like all the other quarterbacks I saw, I liked his composure the best. And I thought he was calm and cool and collective throughout his entire time in Michigan. You can say what you want about his arm and stats, but one thing that I saw for sure is he's calm, cool, and collective. And that's not really what we saw in the first 2 weeks. And we'll see if we can get that back.
And that's kind of what turned me in his favor as well, because I was telling you, like, I just saw this because I think you watched him before I did, and I just said the stats and stuff, like he just feels game manager-y to me. And then you said just like when you watch him play, just don't expect the big passing plays, just watch how he operates. And then when I really did watch that, the fundamentals, the footwork, just how he operated in the pocket, like I felt a lot better about him after that, after you kind of told me, watch out for those things. Don't just, because that's the thing, like you watch the Drake Mays, you watch the Jaden Downs, it's the big Caleb Williams, it's the big plays, it's the scrambles, it's the deep shots that they all had to take, right? But the big thing with all those teams, none of them were playing for a national championship. So yeah, the quarterbacks were flashy, but at the end of the day, it's like it was a pro style offense. And it was McCarthy just operating and looking comfortable and looking mechanically sound. And that's really what you had to look at when you watch his game tape. It wasn't all the big flashy stuff like with all the other quarterbacks.
Yeah, dude, 100%. And that's why I think, I don't know, I think it's in him. Just like the whole winning mentality thing and all those things, like everything was talking about him winning and da-da-da-da-da. And it's like, it's in him, and we've seen it already. Like in his first game of his career, we've seen that aspect of his game. And now I do want to, so when it really mattered, he stepped up, and now I do want to see that just through the whole game. And yeah, I do think like you're still at the end of the day, has only a couple games under his belt. We really need to go out here in this one and just keep him upright or whatever early, so he can kind of get into the flow of things. Like I already know that for the very first play of that Atlanta game, SKOL let someone in like immediately. And I don't remember if it was a sack or if it was just a pressure, but it was just like the first play just right at him. And I think he did get hit. So that's never going to help. But yeah, I don't know. I'm with you. I want him to look just confident. Like I want to go in this game and leave this. If we lose, I want to go in there and be like, it wasn't because of JJ McCarthy. It wasn't because he played like ass. Like even maybe he didn't play great, but maybe he played like, all right, he played what you would expect from him at the very least. Maybe made some plays, didn't make a ton of mistakes. And then most importantly, like you mentioned, just look confident. And and not just us, but that's what Justin Jefferson constantly is telling him too.
Yeah, just go play ball. But in order to play ball, the offensive line needs to be a lot better.
Yeah.
So hopefully Darrisaw ends up playing. Hopefully O'Neal's back. Yeah, it'll be good.
And then I guess we can go into a little bit. Well, we can do that in case of, I don't know. I mean, I guess I want to say, so like this whole team, I mean, we'll get into injuries in a second here, but you get Van Ginkel back and this team is fully healthy. So I do think this defense is in a specific or in an interesting spot where you have a completely healthy defense other than Okudah, which, a lot of, we're isn't really missing a ton, but missing a ton. But this is where a real test to see what this defense can do, and if Flores can bring dial up a good game plan and whatever the personnel. And even with this defense, like I just think this whole team is kind of in the dumps a little bit, including the defense. And I think that's like morale on the defense, I think is fucking important. Like, regardless of what your personnel is on defense, if that morale fucking sucks, I feel like that's a big deal. So that's why I'm like, even JJ McCarthy coming in and bringing some sort of spark, I think it could help all over the team, not just the offense or whatever. So hopefully that could happen, because that and this is to Nick, even like the defense are kind of playing like a bunch of pussies, and I do think that's kind of a lack of just morale and trying and just kind of what the fans feel mostly is like just kind of a disappointing season type of thing. So hopefully I'm not out on the, like, I am not out on this. I'm not out on this personnel on any side of the ball whatsoever. I think we still have the personnel on defense to be a good defense in this year. And I definitely think we have enough personnel in the offense to be good this year as well. So I think we're still in a good enough spot where it's possible for our defense to turn things around on top of everything else too.
Yeah. I mean, because like up until that Eagles game, we were still top of the league in scoring defense, you know, like, so we know we know the defense has the talent, especially with Van Ginkel back. Like, that's going to help things immensely. Yes, the cornerbacks, but coming into the season, we knew the cornerbacks were going to be kind of disappointing. We knew that, right? Like, I was hoping for better things from Byron Murphy. I really was. Haven't seen that out of him yet. Like you said, I'll give you that one. So it's just like, funny. I don't know. It hasn't. I mean, it's just, the talent is there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the defense is barely different than, I would still argue the defense is better this year personnel-wise than they were last year. Other than you don't have Harrison. I mean, it's pretty much the same defense as last year, unless you really think Stephon Gilmore and what's his name, Griffin, made all the difference a year ago.
Which I would say Shaq Griffin was probably it was easily the bigger loss of the two. I thought he played pretty well last year.
Yeah, he did solid for the most part, but it wasn't that big of a deal. So that's like our defense isn't really that much different. Technically, it still should be better. Technically. So we'll see what happens.
And I think a big part of this too, a big don't play like pussies, and that does go to Kevin O'Connell. Just the whole training wheel stuff we saw in the first half of that game against the Bears with McCarthy. Screw it. Just let him go out there and play ball. Just open up the playbook, let him just operate like you maybe not like you normally would. Some fans say not like.
Well, I would probably not. I would still tailor a little bit to JJ McCarthy, but not you said, where it was just you just let him go and play football. But that means still run the ball a lot. Go out there and run the ball, help him out in that area, things like that.
For sure.
But I do think passes should definitely still be part of his play. Make him put him in position to have to get the ball out quickly. Don't send him out there right away with these long developing plays.
Right. Stuff. For sure. So I don't know. We'll see.
So I don't know. I feel like we're going to learn a lot this week. We're going to learn a fucking lot this week. But as far as until we figure out what we learned, I still feel like this team could be good this year.
Yeah, because this feels like that week where things are at an all-time low. And look, if these guys weren't on extensions, this would probably be the point where everyone's already talking about firing everybody, which again, I think is a bit of an overreaction. Don't kill me for saying that, because I know probably will, because everyone's so negative about things right now. But it's I think it's too soon to start doing all that, especially since we know they just got the extensions, what have you. But
we're 3 and 4. It's not like we're fucking.
The panic button doesn't need to be hit. The panic button does not need to be hit just yet. There's still a lot of talent left in this team that's going to be here for years. So just again,
we're not
deep
there.
Breath in, deep breath out. Let's see what this week brings. Because this again, like you said, this feels like the week where they're going to show us what they're made of. Because things are at an all-time low. So this is where Kevin O'Connell really needs to show how good of a leader he is, and to rally the troops and get these guys to play some inspired football. Because it's fair to say he didn't, and he said it himself, and it's true. They were not ready for that Thursday night game. They didn't have one full speed practice at all that week, right? They were not ready to play that football game. Well, you've had 10 days to prepare. You got your young quarterback who you've been working back from injury for the last 6 weeks. You better goddamn be ready to play.
Yeah. And yeah, dude, 100%. And that's what people say. And they're absolutely right that JJ McCarthy probably has more pressure than any other quarterback. And now it's not
especially now.
Yeah, especially now going into this one, because it is you need to be the spark. He needs to be a leader. He needs to go in there. It's not just Kevin O'Connell being the leader. JJ McCarthy needs to go in there and try to lead this fucking team. And it's going to be tough against this Lions team, but he needs to bring it. And I do believe he has that. He has the personality that he definitely is going to have to do it. But obviously, it's easy to say it. He's got to do it on the field in this one. So we'll find out what happens here. But injuries, we'll continue talking more about this game, but injuries, because this is mostly extremely positive and extremely positive, kind of sketchy or slash convenient if you're on the opposite side of the whole Kevin O'Connell situation, because right after obviously last week, it happens to be that everybody mostly seems like they're going to be ready to play this game. You are I'll let you kind of go through each one of these players on the ones who are all back here. But yeah,
I mean, again, top of the list, it's this one is the one that you do kind of got to scratch your head at. I mean, going from Wednesday to Thursday, full participant DNP. They've done this before. They didn't mark it as rest. I mean, reports are coming out today from Alec Lewis and then Kevin Seifert because of the Ego Sports Network over there on ESPN. He also said, like, I mean, the knee isn't 100%. And again, you can question the medical staff on that. Like at this point, like he probably just should have started the year on the PUP list. You know, been out for the first 4 to 6 weeks. And let that thing fully heal before we put him back out there. I mean, admirable that he tried to go, but again, if he's pulling himself out of games, it wasn't smart. Like that's something where someone needed to step in and just put him on PUP, start off there. But we'll see if he ends up playing. I mean,
hopefully we see.
Yeah, it sounds like it's good enough to go as we've seen, but still obviously not 100%. CJ Ham, Jeff Okuda, Josh Oliver did not practice. Those three sounds like they'll all be out. And then I mean, 2 straight limited participation practices for Brian O'Neill. The good thing though is coming out of that Eagles game, it wasn't his it wasn't the right knee where he had that sprained MCL. It was actually the left knee from overcompensation on that leg. So it sounds like he should still be good to go. Isaiah Rodgers limited. I mean, I haven't heard anything.
He'll probably play.
On the contrary, and then Jonathan Grenard upgraded from limited to full. That's huge. And then you got JJ McCarthy, Andrew Van Ginkel, both of full participation. So yeah, this Darrisaw is the big one that I see here. But pending that, if he's able to give it a go, this is going to be the healthiest version of this team that we've seen
this entire year.
Pretty much this entire year.
Yeah, and we talk about spark with JJ McCarthy. I really think that Andrew Van Ginkel is that spark on that defensive side of the ball. Every time he played this year, he has that. He's the Harrison Smith, where off the field he's like he's kind of like awkwardish, like doesn't really say much, but on the field he brings the energy, he makes plays, he does all those things. If there's a guy on that defense that can add a spark to this team, I do think it's Andrew Van Ginkel.
I mean, to be fair, Darrisaw was extended before he tore his ACL. I mean, yeah, I think he had a couple.
He did have some. He had some injuries. He does.
But still.
But it's like, what are you supposed to do? It's tough because, like, you know, good left tackles don't grow on. I mean, we struggled to get a good one for a long time. I don't even know. Like, you got to take chances on some injured people sometimes. Otherwise,
Nick, I don't know if you drink or if you smoke or something, but you might need to partake in something right now. You seem a little hot.
Aren't y'all happy we still got this? Sorry.
You seem a little on edge. You might need someone to take that edge off. Anyway. For the Lions, Kirby Joseph, 2 straight days with no participation. Sounds like he's going to be out. Craig Reynolds,
so there you go. Some
days as well. I mean,
the
third string running back. Then you got Avonte Maddox, Malcolm Rodriguez, Daniel Thomas, and Sio Nvaki, all limited. Terrion Arnold, that's going to be big for them, getting him back. Taylor Decker, full participation. That's going to be big for them as well. And then Al-Qadeed Muhammad, also full participation. So I mean, again, even that defensive backfield, you're going to have Terrion Arnold coming off an injury. No Kirby Joseph, obviously. They're still down DJ Reed. So, I mean, look, if they can protect JJ McCarthy, this might be a game where we can take some chances down the field and complete some plays on this a little bit of a banged up secondary. But again, that all does come down to being able to hold off that edge rush.
Yeah. AVG was my defensive MVP last year. Yeah, mine too. Love the guy. Happy to have. Yeah, that's why I think he can create that spark on that defense. That's why, like, getting both of them back right now is so fucking perfect. And I do think that Van Ginkel can do that. And yeah, I don't know. We'll kind of see what happens, but I do think that's why it feels like the stars are aligning for this game. Obviously, that doesn't really mean shit, but they still are. Yeah. Whether that was planned or not, they still are. Which it kind of feels like it might have been planned, but whatever.
And again, look, I really do understand. I do really understand the outrage. Like, yeah, it sucks. Your team's not playing well. Like, there was expectations coming into this year. They haven't been met. A lot of injuries. Yes, there are questions about how injuries have been handled for sure, and coaching issues, play calling. I get all that. But I've seen too much. And again, I know but no playoff wins. I get that. But I've seen too much good out of this coaching staff to just be like, nah, there's no chance. These guys they're all done. Like, look, I mean, O'Connell's he's still only in his 4th year as head coach. And he's young. Like, he hasn't been, like, he's a younger head coach. Like, and I think he's fought through retread after retread quarterbacks, dealt with multiple injuries, and somehow has always kept this team afloat. This year, yeah, it does feel a little bit different. I know Alec Lewis tweeted in the spring, like the vibes were a little bit off. Like it kind of is what it is, I guess. I mean, we'll see. Underlying tension or whatnot. But like I've just seen too much good from this coaching staff to just think. So yeah, I mean, look, if we shit the bed the rest of this year, we don't do anything next year, then we can start. Then I'll change my mind. But I try to be more positive than negative most of the time, and I've just seen too much good.
Well, so we've won too much.
Happen in the future, especially with the fact, especially if you're young top 10 pick quarterback can turn it around and just show that you got something there.
Yeah. In my opinion, I mean, like we've just won too much with Kevin O'Connell, with Kwesi. Say what you want, the draft stuff, I get it, but we've won way more games than we've lost with them too. Not very often are you asking for people's heads right after they're just winning a bunch of games when most teams fucking just suck and keep quarterbacks or coaches and GMs for a while. And it's like every single GM is going to have something that someone doesn't like about them. Happens every time, unless you're the Eagles or the Chiefs. That's sure two examples.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure. I even heard from. I think I was watching one of Tom Grassi's videos. I think he even mentioned in like a tongue-in-cheek way, doing one of his like skit videos. How there's a lot of there's a lot of Packers fans that are calling for LaFleur's head, and that team has made the NFC title game.
Yeah.
Of course they have had explosive offense.
That's what it is. You got, I mean,
people calling for his head.
Right.
Like it's just
if you were thinking you're going to get the perfect coach, the perfect GM, the perfect quarterback, you're just going to get all three at the exact same time. It's not happening. Or even Christian Darrisaw, like, all right, don't extend him, and now we're back in not having a left tackle whatsoever, which is even worse than having one that barely sees the field half the time, unfortunately. But that's kind of what it is. Like, you can't good left tackles don't just grow on trees. Like, sometimes you have to take a chance on injured players because it's not like you don't extend them and then what? Like, I don't know. It's sometimes you have to take a chance. You got to. In my opinion, I'm like, that's why with the Darrisaw thing, I'm like, dude, when he's healthy, he's one of the best left tackles in the league for a team that we could not find a tackle to save our life forever. So I don't know. That's what I'm saying. You got to take it. Obviously, I mean, yeah, I wish like TJ Hawkinson at the time, it seemed all right, but now going back, like he didn't hit on all of them or whatever. It's fair, but fuck there's just no GMs that are just fucking killing it, especially not absolute, like barely any. Like the chances that we fire Kwesi and bring someone in that just does fucking better than him is slim, because he has, whether you like his drafting or not, he's built a team that has won much more games than we have lost, even with some adversity in between seasons and things like that.
Right.
But yeah, that's one example of someone who's doing really good.
Howie Roseman is like the ultimate.
So like, let's just fire quick. We'll find ourselves a Howie Roseman. Perfect.
And then I would say I would like the Lions too, but again, that's what happens when you pick top 5 for how many years in a row?
Right.
Like,
exactly.
That's what happens when you're a bottom. Like, yeah, you eventually and you get the right coach in there, and Dan Campbell, who was able to build things back up with what they had. But the reason that GM did so well is because they had top picks consistently.
Dude could come in and win one playoff game. See, I don't know. Like, it's not like it's one playoff game. It's not. It doesn't. I don't agree with that. Like, that's not good enough to me. Like, if you think winning, I get it, and I want Kevin O'Connell to win at least one playoff game. But if he goes and wins one playoff game, you think all of us are just going to be fucking okay with it now?
No, I mean, because the first person is going to be, I'm sorry, T-Bass, in our comments, like, well, I want to see him win the next one before I really start.
I want to see. He needs to make the NFC Championship. He's like, dude, who gives a fuck about one playoff win? Like, I get it. Winning in regular season doesn't mean a lot either, but technically winning one playoff game doesn't mean shit either. There's only one thing that fucking matters, and it's winning the Super Bowl. Anything less is nothing, in my opinion, basically. Obviously, I'd like to see, but like, especially one playoff. Like Kevin O'Connell, I would love to see him, mostly just so people can stop saying, all you have to do is win one playoff game, even though I know for a fact it's going to go down to he's only won one playoff game. Obviously, I know how that kind of goes, and he's been here for 3 years. It's different than Kirk Cousins, who has been in the league for 12 years or whatever and has won one playoff game. So I don't know. That's the stand. I don't know. That's barely a standard to me. So I'm talking about with both of your asses have done. That's what I'm talking about. And I just think based off of, I don't know. I just, you kind of had like a competitive rebuild going on, in my opinion. So could get the T-Wolves have Tim Conley, so you can't tell me.
But there's a lot of T-Wolves fans out there that don't like Tim Conley.
Well, dude, go find yourself a GM that helps build a team that gives you like a 2-1 record. There ain't fucking many out there.
Yeah.
Like you can hate all Crazy as much as you, and you can say it's not all crazy or whatever. You can say all of that, but if you like the whole Sam Darnold thing, but he got rid of everyone that's mad about Sam Darnold thing wanted Kirk Cousins to stick around. Look where Kirk Cousins is.
Yeah, and a lot of people now that are now all of a sudden like, oh, we should have kept Sam Darnold. The same people being like, oh, he lost a lot of money after those 2 games.
Yeah,
like,
I know exactly.
He doesn't step up in the big moments. Like, come on now.
I don't know.
Daniel Jones, there was one guy, one guy that I work with was the one when we signed Daniel Jones. Like, I think that guy could be the future of our team. That's one person I know who actually looked at Daniel Jones and said, that's a good quarterback.
Right.
Right. Losing Daniel Jones to the Colts. Like, if you're actually saying that, fuck off, you don't believe that.
And I do like Tim Conley, but he's also, he's the guy that found Joe. Like, Tim Conley's one of the kind. Like, you ain't finding GMs like that easily. You know, it's not that easy. Especially like, I don't know. It's just I'm not convinced you fire Kwesi and you're just gonna find someone who's maybe better at drafting. I'll give you that, but it doesn't mean he's better at building a good team.
To be fair, like Conley, yes, Denver did good things. Came here, like he did inherit a team with Ant McDaniels, Nas Reed. Like he wasn't here when we got Nas Reed, was he? He came here, his first big move, trade for Rudy Gobert.
Yeah.
Trade.
Technically, he hasn't.
A lot of the stuff he's done has been free agency and trades, not necessarily drafting.
Yeah, Tim Conley,
Terrence Shannon, that's looking like good. But how about the trade we made for Rob Dillingham? Is that working out so far?
I would say Tim Conley has not really. He's definitely hasn't lived up to the.
And
most people hated the Rudy thing.
And if you try to tell me you got to let Rob Dillingham grow, and you're gonna not say the same thing about JJ McCarthy, you're a hypocrite.
Yeah, I know. Which I doubt the same person. I don't even know if the same person would say that. I don't know. And that's the Timberwolves thing going on. It's a whole different thing, but it's a similar situation. But I don't think we have time for Timberwolves stuff. We'll get back into that. Shannon, Clark, solid, but they haven't. Like, to be honest, like even so far, Shannon's 24 years old, and I'm being critical right here. But obviously, I'm not seeing.
Dillingham hasn't playing that on fans. Well, what if
Shannon hasn't really impressed me that much this year? I thought Shannon would make a bigger impact as he has. He's only been 4 games, but I thought he'd be a bigger impact than he was so far.
I mean, what if Dillingham just isn't good enough to play right now, and that's why he's not playing him?
If Dillingham isn't playing that, it's on. Yeah. Well. Which I agree. I'm kind of with you. I do think Finch needs to be better at playing some of these young guys. I think that is a critical thing on Finch. I don't think Finch is a perfect head coach. He's not. But I also am team like you fire.
Same thing.
You fire Finch. Do I think you're going to go find a coach that has done as good as Finch? I don't know. Maybe. But I don't think we went to back-to-back conference finals. I don't know if it's a good idea to. Like to come, you think like we're gonna go get another coach that can make us from a conference final to a championship team when Finch came in and made us that? Yeah. I don't know. That seems like wishful thinking. Like get rid of this guy because this guy can do better. When technically this other guy has had success so far.
Yeah, and actually, I mean, JJ was hurt and now he's not hurt, and guess what? He's gonna start a football game.
Yeah, Hopefully. Anyways, let's get back to the Vikings here. Young Smokey with another 49-9. My guy. Guys, we need to be honest. Kwesi is the cheap-ass parents looking to get mad. When you change the air conditioning, we need Kwesi to hit in the draft and make splash. Let's see where it goes. Goods for salad. Yeah, that's the only thing is, like, I don't know. What do people say? Like, I don't know for sure how – me and Casey's had this conversation, but I don't know how much – I don't know if Kwesi is in there just saying like, hey, these are my guys and I'm picking them. Or I don't know if there's someone else that he's taking a lot of influence from.
Yeah. Because
obviously it's ultimately on
him
the
to make
GM ultimately. But at the same time, I don't know if he's like the kind of guy that is like, hey, it's my way or the highway. I don't know.
Right. I know Alec Lewis did tweet like responding to someone's tweet saying like, just let's not forget like while fair all of this, let's not forget how much influence the coaching staff does have in these picks.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, playoffs, baby. Playoffs. That's all we're about. Playoffs. That was pretty funny. And then I like how that's one thing is freaking sorry, I have to say this, but the freaking Timberwolves, they get destroyed by every white guy fucking possible out here.
Yep.
Like
Austin
you don't like
Reeves,
Luca's out.
Brown.
You're gonna we're gonna let what is his name, Larveria or whatever, Jake Larveria. I don't know how to say his name.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's gonna
Jake
come
Labia.
in and drop almost 30 on you guys without Luca. That's so crazy. But I liked his spirit when they were doing the whole like who's 12 thing, and he like lift up his arms or whatever. So obviously probably a cool guy or whatever. But anyways, back to this Vikings easily beating the Lions this game. No, I'm just kidding. It's got clapped by every G retry. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, hey, I'm not like, I don't know, but there's something in the NBA about white players destroying the Timberwolves. For some reason, it's facts. It's facts. Let's get into some keys to victory in this game. Then we'll get into some predictions. Starting at number 5. And obviously some of the stuff's going to be pretty obvious, but starting at number 5, and that is, got to pick the right one. Sustained drives, red zone. One thing we know for sure is that we haven't been great at sustaining drives all year. It's going to be interesting with JJ McCarthy back. But the big thing here is the Lions have allowed they're 23rd in the NFL in allowing touchdowns in the red zone. So if you do get into the red zone, there's an opportunity to take advantage there, especially when there isn't guys like Kirby Joseph, which we're going to get into that more later. But Casey, what's your thoughts on this situation here?
Yeah, and again,
you could bring in coaching in general.
Yeah, I mean, I think this all goes back to what we were talking about before. Just take the training wheels off the offense. Like, protect your quarterback, lean into the run a little bit more. Because especially in that Bears game, things started to come around for McCarthy when we started running the football. So yeah, lean into Aaron Jones, lean into Jordan Mason. Like fans have been saying all year long, and that I agree with. You do got to run the football more, especially with a young quarterback in there, and especially if Christian Darrisaw either doesn't play or isn't 100% out there. But yeah, I mean, like that's been the main issue, especially when you want to talk about defense. And I mean, the big part of it is the defense has been out there too much the last couple of weeks. And that comes down to the offense not being able to sustain drives. And when you get down there, don't do what you did in the Eagles game and not be able to score in the red zone. Because again, even that game, we were moving the ball consistently, just couldn't get into the end zone when it came down to that. So that's really what it comes down to. Control the ball, keep the ball out of that explosive Detroit, the explosive Detroit Lions hands, tire out that defense a little bit, and just let McCarthy get into a rhythm. That's what it all comes down to.
Let's go. Yeah, exactly. And what do we have next? Actually, we're going to the defense. So this is kind of a tough one because this Lions offense is just stacked. Man, in this, they seem like Jahmyr Gibbs is only getting better. St. Brown's only getting better. Unfortunately, Jamison Williams seems to continue to be getting better there. And we were hoping, I don't know where their offensive line ranks at right now, but we were hoping that their offensive line was going to take a big hit, but it doesn't sound like it's been that bad, but it should be worse than last year. And if there's one thing we're going to be able to do on defense that I think as far as a positive thing from our defense, and something that we haven't been doing great in the last couple of seasons, I guess, but you got Andrew Van Ginkel back, and that is getting home to Jared Goff and getting some sacks, stopping some momentum on defense, and then, maybe even creating some turnovers there. Casey, what do you think on this?
Yeah, I mean, Grenard's way up there in pressures, hasn't really gotten home with the sacks. Dallas Turner hasn't developed into that pass rush where you wanted him to be. Is that them trying to put too much on his plate and make him too much like Van Ginkel? Maybe at some point and again, when he was drafted, he was raw, not a developmental player, but a raw player that needed some development. And I think that's kind of something we just haven't seen enough yet. And I do think maybe they do need to take a little bit off his plate and just let him be the athletic freak that gets after the quarterback, because I don't think he's focused enough on his pass rush, which is why we haven't seen a big impact from him. But all things considered with that, I do think getting Van Ginkel back is going to be huge. Because, otherwise, Dallas Turner's got just one move. He can't really get after the quarterback. If we just take care of their interior guys and Grenard, we're going to be just fine. That's what we saw, especially when Flores sent the blitz, still weren't able to get home. So, but that's the thing. Like Goff, and that's the thing with blitzing.
Sewell was out? I didn't know this.
Goff is and has been really good against the blitz. So, it's and that's one thing. If you're going to blitz, you got to get home. But if you can rattle him, get him off his game a little bit, get him off his spot, maybe you can make something happen. Again, it's going to be tough, 100%. But if you get to him, you got to be able to finish your sacks and get some hits on him.
Yeah, because this is not a good matchup for us.
No, it's not.
That's why it's like hard to. It's kind of sad. That's why it's like tough to think the Vikings go in this game and definitely feel confident about a win at the very least. Just because I can't like this year, even against deep we never do good against St. Brown, a guy that runs really great routes, can make cause some damage on short passes and things like that. But then we've been fucking especially in the last 2 weeks on long. I think we're like the worst, or we're like bottom 3 in passes over 20 yards. And now you got a guy like Jameson Williams, that's pretty much his whole thing. So that's going to be tough. And then of course the biggest thing here, and this is what we're going to have to win absolutely on offense if we can't do number 3 here. And Casey, I'll let you jump into that. But
yeah, I mean, look, I have Jahmyr Gibbs in one of my fantasy leagues, and I'm starting him for sure because of how we've been against the run. But like, Flores mentioned it today. It's like they're looking at it. They're really taking a hard look at how they can get better. They kind of have to be. It's hard to get much worse than we have been. And look, if there's any week to show that you can make some improvements, tough week to have to do it. I mean, again, best running back tandem in the league by far. They're both different in many ways. They can both do a lot of different things. I mean, like you said, and I agree with it. If Jahmyr Gibbs was just a solo lead back, he'd probably be the best running back in football. So, yeah, I mean, it's a tough task. It's not easy, but it's not necessarily stop them. It's just limit them as best as you can. And again, it's tough. I get that, but you got Flores, who is good defensive mind, and you got talent on this team. Hopefully they can find a way.
Well, this is, what are we? Last week we got destroyed on the ground. So this wouldn't be a surprising game if we come in here and do good against the run and then just get throttled in the air, because that's kind of what we're doing every other week right now. So we'll see what happens, because we did it to we stopped Barkley, but then we gave AJ Brown and Smith both their best games of the entire season. Yeah. So hopefully we figure something out there, and hopefully we can get Van Ginkel back. And I'm relying a lot. I felt like we relied on Cashman coming back. Cashman wasn't the secret key to turning everything around. I still obviously think it's a boost, but hopefully Van Ginkel can be that for us.
Yeah, for sure.
Going to number 2, kind of brought this one up earlier. The secondary doesn't have Kirby Joseph. We know what's his face, Arnold, or
Terrion Arnold's going to be back, but it's going to be,
he's back, but he's just coming off of an injury.
No DJ Reed.
Yep, no DJ Reed's been on IR. So this is an opportunity to take advantage of the Lions secondary. You got the best wide receiver in the NFL and the best wide receiver too in the NFL in Jordan Addison. Obviously you have JJ McCarthy back there, but JJ McCarthy, that's one interesting thing for sure. And that's why I put Jordan Addison on this graphic here, is that's the chemistry we haven't seen, the chemistry that we heard about all training camp, but didn't get an opportunity to see other than a little bit into the preseason, which absolutely showed, is that chemistry between JJ McCarthy and Jordan Addison. So I'm expecting a decent game out of Jordan Addison in this one, against a banged up Lions defense that have allowed the second most touchdowns to wide receivers this year. So if there's a chance to throw some touchdowns to Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison, this should be that game. First, we got to get to the red zone, though, of course. But yeah, what is your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I mean, this could be the game where, I mean, if you just let JJ McCarthy play his game, maybe he can take advantage of some of those matchups down the field. And like, I mean, going back to training camp and a little bit you saw in preseason, like Jordan Addison was his favorite target, right? And when he played that first game, guess who he didn't have? Jordan Addison, right? I mean, so you double, triple cover Jefferson. Like, look, Jalen Naylor's been having a great year, right? But not great from a stat perspective, just great from how he's played the position. So I think, I mean, look, JJ McCarthy out there, hopefully with Darisaw and with Addison, I think is going to be huge. And we know how good these two guys are. I mean, you have when they're both on the field and producing, you have one of the top wide receiver duos in the league. Yeah. And you got to be able to take advantage of them. But a lot of that, again, does come down to, are we all done talking about receivers?
Oh, no, you're good. Why?
Because it does come down to number one.
Oh.
And that is.
I'm good.
And that is, of course, you got to keep JJ McCarthy upright in order for him to make plays downfield. We all know that offensive line's been an absolute disaster this year. Injuries, mixing it up back and forth. We thought SKOL was going to be a good signing. Turns out he was not. Yeah. So we need Darrisaw to play. I mean, I know he's not 100% healthy. We'll see what happens there. But if him and O'Neal can be back, Donovan Jackson, I mean, you got the negatives out there, like, oh, he's played how many games and he's been awful. It's like, just give him some time. Will Fries, yes, that one big free agent signing has been average at best so far this year. I get all that. But like, this is a game where the offensive line really needs to come together and step up and keep McCarthy upright so he can take advantage of some of those shots downfield, so he can run the football and have a balanced offense. But yeah, I mean, this entire offense comes down to that offensive line holding up. And to this point this year, it hasn't done it nearly enough, as we know with the injuries we've had.
Honestly, the best game was when we had, like, I think nobody on that offensive line against the Browns, right? That was that game against the Browns. That was like the best offensive line game, completely filled with backups.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we haven't had, I think against the Eagles, did we have everybody on the field or the same group of guys?
I don't think O'Neal didn't. Or did O'Neal?
He did play. He did play that one.
Came out of that one a little.
So he might have had. Obviously, though, at the same time, he was just coming off of injury. I guess you could say the same thing again here, but I still think he should be in better shape. As well as Donovan Jackson was just coming off of his injury. He should be in better shape. And then as far as Darrisaw goes, like, I don't know, like, all this stuff's going. I feel pretty confident Darrisaw's going to play. I'm kind of more on the side of, even though I guess these guys they must hear it, but the way everybody is wording this thing with Darrisaw, it's not like, oh no, Darrisaw just no one's saying like Darrisaw re-injured his knee, so he has to, so that's the reason why he's not or didn't practice today or whatever. It sounds like maybe it wasn't a rest day, but it just still sounds like it was kind of precautionary based off of what people are saying, because they're not just being straight with it. I think he's going to play this game. Probably not going to be 100%. I do think you see him out here, which is huge, because just like everybody knows, and I know Big Raylan mentioned it as soon as we started this, and that is the segment, and that is just, you got to do whatever you can to protect JJ McCarthy. Like, it's like priority. Like, if we lose, it's just like, protect JJ McCarthy. I want him to I want to see him get comfortable, for good or bad. Like, I want to see, even on the negative side of things, like, I'd like to see good blocking and then know if he's struggling still, even with good blocking. Like, that's good things to know no matter what. So it's like, protect him no matter what, so we can see the good, the bad, and everything. Put the game into JJ McCarthy's hands, and that's what I'm kind of hoping in this one, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
So leaves us with predictions. Oh, back over here. What are you thinking?
What are we doing first? Score, or what do we got?
We'll end with score. So let's start with offense.
Okay. What did I say yesterday? I said some more running backs. I think I did. I think I said we're going to lean into the run game. I really think this is the game O'Connell puts it all together when it comes to running the football. I know it's not much, but I do think combined, Jordan Mason, Aaron Jones, I think they combined for 120 score once.
Nice.
Yeah.
We need that. We need to bring the run game in this one. 100%. I'm good. Obviously, you got the boy back. JJ McCarthy is officially back. I think he's going to go for 405 touchdowns, 0. No, I'm just kidding. No, I don't think that crazy, but I'm going to give him a decent stat. Obviously, this is a bold prediction. I'm going to give him over 200. I saw T-Bass earlier said 150, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. I'm going to be obviously more optimistic. It's a bold prediction for a reason. I'm giving him over 200 yards receiving or passing in this one. And that's also assuming that this game is going to be kind of high scoring, high scoring if we keep up with the Lions, which hopefully we at the very least do. Over 200 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and I have him with 25 yards on the ground on top of that in this one. And then I'll just jump over to defense, because we're already talking about a guy that's going to be back. I already told you JJ McCarthy has potential to be the spark. He's the potential to be the spark on offense and spark for this whole team. A guy that I think absolutely will be the spark on defense. And this is like the difference between him and Blake Cashman coming back. It's just the energy and the playmaking ability of Andrew Van Ginkel. And I think he does it again. I think he comes back and gets himself a Gink 6 in this one. Hopefully early, and hopefully it doesn't get called back. But yeah, being 6.
Okay. And I'm gonna stick with those edge rushers because this is look. Van Ginkel's back
like this.
You got Van Ginkel back. You got Grenard out there. Sounds like he's gonna play. Dallas Turner kind of steps back into his role as rotational. I think they get after Goff. I think they end up with 3 sacks this game.
Hey, let's go.
I like that.
Score predictions.
So I think we're both kind of on the same page here. Now, look, we see a lot of negativity. We're gonna be negative to an extent. Like, I think we both agree we lose this game. I think we both agreed. What was it yesterday? 31-24.
Yeah.
But I think we're talking about a loss. Maybe Monday, you guys are all on the ledge again. Maybe there's a gun to your head. I don't know I don't know how you would do it if you're going to do it. But we're going to be here, bright smiling faces, telling you guys to put that gun away, get off the ledge because it's not that bad. Because JJ McCarthy looked good.
Yeah. Hopefully,
now,
even though we lost.
Exactly. So we're still going to be smiling because guess what? Our quarterback.
Hopefully, that's obviously being hopeful, but not being hopeful is and who knows? Maybe the Vikings can prove us wrong. But it's kind of the general consensus that I don't think anybody is picking the Vikings in this one. Hopefully they eat those words. I hope we eat our words. But you got JJ McCarthy who hasn't played in 6 games. It's hard to believe you're going to come out here and win against a Lions team that's been arguably the best team at the hottest team of recent weeks potentially. They're definitely in that conversation. It's going to be a tough one. I also don't think if we do lose this game, it means the season's completely over. Kind of to what Casey said, that if we do win this one, or if we do lose this one, but JJ McCarthy looks confident and comfortable and he has a decent stat line or whatever it is, we can feel good about moving forward and go beat Detroit the next time. One thing though is JJ McCarthy we've seen 2 games. We've seen what he did to the Bears at the end of the game. JJ McCarthy is still JJ McCarthy, and he's still a winner, and he's played his entire college career in Detroit, and I think everybody knows that he's yet to lose a single game in Michigan.
Oh, is T-Bass here? He might puke. He said he's going to puke. You heard that again.
Yeah, a single game.
You're being too positive.
In Michigan. So if any young quarterback is going to step up and win a game that you didn't think was going to be winnable, I think JJ McCarthy could be that guy. And I don't just think that off of nothing. He showed us it in the 4th quarter of that Chicago game that he has it in him to step up in big moments and important parts of the games. It was a small sample size, but so was his bad parts of those games as well. So hopefully JJ McCarthy makes us all eat our words. What is everybody else's score predictions in the comments? We got Lions win 30-27. I want to see. There's got to be one motherfucker in here who's got the Vikings win. Lions are banged up. Hey, let's go, Dalton. Let's go. And I don't know, man. I feel like this feels like a Vikings W from Nick over here. 35-13 Vikes W. I don't know. Let's go. So I'm hoping. I mean, this would be all I can tell you is this. If JJ McCarthy comes back and we beat the Lions and JJ McCarthy beats the Lions, this is going to be an entirely different fucking year. And we're mellowing our expectations here and thinking that it's going to be a tough game. But if there's a world where we win this because of JJ McCarthy, that's going to change the trajectory of the whole season, I think.
For sure. I love it, man. I love it. A little bit of positivity after the negative score predictions that we had, but
we'll see what happens.
Anything else?
I think that's it, man. That's just I don't know. I feel more excited about this one again. No, the fuck I'm not. Stop lying, Nick. We know what you're trying to do. You got the Vikings winning. You got JJ McCarthy winning. Your Michigan boy over there. Yeah, I don't know. Just like obviously I want to win this one. But no matter what, man, I feel more excited. I feel excitement going this game where pretty much ever since we had Wentz back, it was kind of a buzzkill. So
13-4. I love it. Hey, there's still a shot. It's still all right up there in front of us. It's still right out there in front of us. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining. Halloween weekend. A lot of you guys need to go out, have a beer, take a chill pill, sit back, relax. Do what you do to relax. I don't know what you got to do. But anyway, do that for Sunday, because if you don't, you might pop a blood vessel if this team doesn't do well. But anyway, thank you guys so much for joining. We'll see you guys on Monday, hopefully with bright smiling faces like we're going to have. So
yeah,
be there.
Hopefully.
You're not going to be happy. It's on you. Be happy. Thank you. Have a good weekend.
SKOL Vikes.